Hello and welcome to Edge Components, or welcome back. Here I'm assembling the Marzocchi Shiver fork, and I have all the parts in the boxes over there. I have some oil, I have some grease. Just gotta put it together and find out, I guess. That's the only thing I can do right now. Get a clean towel to start. I also have this parts manual here. Marzocchi. This is a 05 Shiver DC manual. And this is what I'll be working off of. The exploded view. Would help if that was larger, but it doesn't really matter. I have good bearings of where most of my things should be. Alright, let's start. So I need some O-rings. So I have my stanchions here. This is all cleaned stuff for the most part, and I'm gonna get a damper. And it's been sitting for a little bit, so just cleaning dust off. I have this nicely refurbished rod. It's been welded. What an amazing thing. Anyways. Welcome to On Edge Components. This old bike part refresh. I'm gonna clear the bench. This is a continuation of the Shiver rebuild. Last episode got the So in this little segment of the video, we're trying to add a little glob of metal to the end of the Shiver rebound adjuster needle, where the Phillips slot broke off. Easy enough? Yeah. That's really all it needs, yeah. Yep. Is it? It's not structural, and it doesn't need to seal or anything. I just need to, put a slot back in it.
Whatever it is, it's really soft.
Yeah.
Because all the lines are missing now. It went back.
It's alright.
So hopefully this is long enough.
getting there. There's some nice welds.
You know how long the other one is from here to here?
No, not really. Let me go get it.
We're probably gonna measure that. Yeah.
Not bad. Not terrible.
Focus. And on aluminum, probably just as bad.
It's conductive. Really nice. Oh, watch. Yeah, burn up.
Stop.
It's good. You have a piece that looks like.
There you have it, folks. One repaired adjusting rod.
Oh, that came out pretty nice. Yeah. Cool.
All right, we are ready to
Build that fork back up. I'll wash all the parts and then we'll get back to this video.
Thanks for watching. We'll be back to do another one.
Now here's where the fun part comes in. A little packet's a Shiver. No, get out and ride. This was sent by Marzocchi Mark, or MTB Forks by Mark in California. I had to order some parts because the Shiver had a busted one of these, unfortunately. So it commanded new parts, or at least recirculated ones. So it's got some snacks on the go. It's very cool. Good customer service. You know, if you break something, well, you'll be ordering from him. Can't think of too many places. There's a RH bike shop in Poland. They also stock some stuff. But if you're in the States, then you'll likely be ordering from him. Please give ample time for communication. If you desire something, he needs to find it. And I'm gonna drop these lovely parts out onto a bench there, and then get one of these O-rings put over the damper rod here. I believe this is where this goes, unless I'm wrong. Not likely. It does go there, huh? Yeah. Okay. Very delicate O-ring. Stretch it over. Alright. And then you take your... So here the seal heads are printing. There's a story with this. So the original Marzocchi seals are large in diameter. And... There's a microphone. And the issue was they're not readily available. Marzocchi Mark has them, and there's a few different brands of aftermarket stuff, or aftermarket brands, sorry, that have them. However, it was kind of in my best interest to develop a seal kit that was common or design a adapter that would be useful for all common seals, meaning if you could go into a bike shop, your LBS, and just ask for a set of RockShox 35mm wipers, it would be ideal. So I set into the task of designing a seal head, which took a few iterations. There's a lot that broke and, you know, whatever. What have you. Yeah, there's probably a few in there. So we came to the idea that a two-piece system would be in our favor due to using the same retaining clips and reducing the risk of pressure blowout or just straight up eliminating it. So that's what we did. And now you see part of it. So I'm gonna rip the supports out and then start the next one because it's late at night. Now, it's not oftentimes that you see custom seal heads. We're in right now, as we speak, the Fox Podium was released not but a few months ago, and there's no part schematic. So, geez, anyways. So here it is. A lot of R&D hours into the system, and after a little bit of testing, it will be available on our website. So, because for you to have to wait, let's say 2 weeks for international, or even 2 weeks for, you know, let's say a local guy to provide seals, it's just not ideal. And if you ride a lot, who's to say you'll be riding this thing a lot? I mean, it's old, that's true. But let's say you like your vintage rigs and you know, that's just what you have, or in my case, what I want to ride. You tend to build stuff like this. And with that, you gain a lot in terms of what is, you know, really absolutely necessary. Or you want something that's practical and easy to find parts for, not things that are obsolete or just kind of waning in existence. as are a lot of original Marzocchi parts. So there's a square seal that heads in here. You can kind of see how it fits in there. I just curled it in and it's peeping out. So this is basically a seal head. So you may ask how this works. I have a syringe here and some gasket maker. And the idea behind this is well, you have your parts that seal by themselves. However, provided that there are any gaps, which I will show, this stuff's messy too. So let's say you have this leg, right? Maybe I'll use... yeah, put the Torah logos outside. What the hell? So let's say you have this brake side, you know, thing going. The hose, well, tore into the fork and didn't create any goodwill, so to speak. It's kind of flat. Actually, more than kind of, it is flat. Grab 2 bushings. These are still good. They're from the original fork. And I just like to put a thin coat. Push one in. They're not different, are they? Just another one. Grease the second one, takes a little bit of oomph. There it goes. The retaining ring, you need that. So put some silica on this thing and then insert it. Right. And then our little seal pack. So goes in. And it brings it up to height. That's what we want. It's not what we want. Wipe it. Okay, so this retaining ring goes in. It's a clip that normally would go on your factory Marzocchi seals. It snaps in. Pressure is sealed. Now, we have our outer ring here. Alright, how this works. First, a little bit of gasket maker, like a little bead. This outer ring prevents your brake from eating into it if you don't have guards. Or even if your guards are there, it cuts down on the noise. There's a lot of functions for that, protection, what have you. And then the inside is for adapting your seal. So we're going to smack this on. You're probably gonna want to seat it, just in case. And after that, we see how this works. We grab an OEC wiper tool. We insert. And then we knock it in. Right? It takes a little bit of force. And you know what this does is it locks your surfaces together. It keeps everything completely tight. It's kind of a weird installation, I admit, but you essentially need these things because if not, your fork leaks. So wonderful. Alright, final assembly. Greasing the seal. Lots of it. No shortage of this stuff in here. It's really what keeps your seals alive, since it's a high wear seal pack, meaning, or high hour seal pack, meaning you don't want to be changing this very often to never. Or let's put it in better terms. 300 hours later, your fork will still hold oil. Now if it doesn't, that's a different story, but that's why I have to test this, make sure it's good. Grab our other assembly right here. Let's see how well this fits together for a moment of truth. Send it looses. A little bit. Oh, welcome back. I redesigned the seal packs. They're sitting right over here. Took a little bit of time, but once I figured it out and got my dimensions correct, everything's ready to go practically. So I'm going to start by assembling one full leg, not the half pre-assembled one I started with. Which one? So I have our upper tube here. What's that? I have to start with the bushings right here. I have to put some grease on them so they go in easy. That. Then the main tube, or the spacer tube. Grease the second bushing. Where is it? He's on fire right now. Insert the second bushing. Retaining plate goes on. Here's the fun part. I have my seal pack. You don't quite need to lubricate that because that's... We can go in here. Put some grease on the inner. And then take your pack, make sure it's in the right direction. Kind of seat it. There's the, use a tool to install it. Grab a clip. Make sure that's good all the way around. You can see how that's starting to look. Now grab a top wiper seal pack. This thing's got some grease in it. Get a syringe of your favorite gasket maker. Put a nice coat or a nice bead. Like that in there. You can see it's kind of squeezing out through there. You can also rotate it to really spread it around. Get rid of any excess. In goes our wiper. There's a wiper seal. Give it a little internal cleaning. Now I will press this in. And naturally it's going to want to give it a nice firm tap. So you can see it needs a little assistance, and basically it locks the TPU outer or shim sleeve to the upright. Okay, so put this aside. Grab the leg right here. Throw in the damper. Don't forget any of your small parts. You'll regret that if you do. So, really careful. And it goes. Kind of lubricate the O-ring a little bit. Go to socket. Want to check the alignment, and then make sure it's nice and tight. Once that's complete, flip it over. Spring retainer. Alright. Now put together the rest of the assembly, which will include this piece. Oh, make sure it is going. I believe it tapered. Oh, it has to go down this way because this clears it. Yep, okay. Now secondly, put this nut on. This is going to be kind of like a lock nut for the top. Take your tiny little O-ring. You're going to want to fit it over the shaft. And then the slot. Okay. Now I'm going to thread it all the way in. Oh, God. Oh, it's a different bug. Alright. Put this on. Now you're going to want to lock it. Alright, this is where we're at. And now we insert it into the leg and fill it with some oil. So I'm going to grab this here. Grease liberally. See how this looks? Also, cannot forget about the sag ring. So either this one or maybe the next size up. Am I right? Yeah, I am right. I'm good at eyeballing it. Alright, there you go. Let's see this magic work. Alright. Got that put together. Honestly needs a break-in because the seals are quite tight. Now, don't want to slide too much, doesn't have any oil in it. So I'm going to set it right here. And then because I do have to compress it a little bit. But we'll put 10 cc's, we'll put some oil in it before we do that. Get a cup. This is, don't even have a spring in it. Yeah, you haven't even got the spring in there yet. Microphone's on. So, 300 cc's of oil for this. Basically, it's like an 01 to 02 Shiver. It's got the vintage logos. The 05 manual is kind of wrong. It tells you 175 cc's. That applies to 05. It does not apply to my world. So, back to this, I guess. 100 milliliters. Which is 10 cc's, right? You hear that? Mm-hmm. Only the best Motul 5 light. I could put 10 in it, but that's halfway between heavy and light, so I'll just go for 5. I'm a lighter rider, so it'll be okay. This was going to take a lot of oil. 10 cc's. Alright, let's pour it in. Basically keep everything lubricated so I'm not constantly jamming the fork. Just pouring it down the side. It's good. Now I'm going to rotate it, get it in all in the bushings. I'm going to continue filling this with oil. It's kind of hard to see down there, but from my point of view, I can't even see any oil. It's very smooth though. Third cup. So now we're up to 30 cc. Now I'm getting somewhere. Gonna drop a spring in. I believe that's the next step. So it helped if I could bring that up. Yeah. Don't worry, I have tools for this. Floop. So leave a little bit of play in there, just for now. This thing's getting really heavy. I mean, more than any other fork I've ever dealt with. Looks like it needs a new O-ring. Okay. Top cap. Supposing. Ah, here's the click. No. And after that, to get my circlips, which also have to be in some random bag. Alright, see how this goes on. It's an E-clip. It's a hell of a lot of spring in it. If I'm smart, I'll use a wrench and... Ooh, lovely. Now, to the adjuster. Give it an extra quarter turn. Here comes the fun part. Attaching it. Got that final cap on there. So 190 showing. Let's see. Yeah, there's 190 showing. So that's pretty nice. Pretty soft. I would say when I dial this in, if I had to turn the rebound up, or sorry, turn the compression up, but otherwise it looks great. That's a really heavy fork. Not joking. It's. What do you think?
For about 4 pounds ish.
Probably gonna be 5 when it's done, with the crown and everything.
Or 2.2 kilos.
It's moving a kilo. Round 2. Same deal applies. Seals. This is really working. You can feel it in there. Yeah. Probably need some oil put into it. Just slicking it up. It's suffering a little bit on the grease, just because. If it don't leak, it's a win in my book.
Just feeling for the seal.
Yeah, you feel how it's coned.
Kind of.
Yeah. Click. Take some alcohol. Clean the gland area. Put this in. Get a nice bead of that stuff going. Really heavy bead. Because I don't want it to come off. See, it's squeezed out a little bit there. Just clean that out. Alright, time to smash those wipers in. Hell, for all I know, it probably would have been good on the one wiper. Say what?
Cut this back some.
Yeah, but for normal forks, it's fine.
I know. This one's not normal.
Not remotely normal. That's why I use a 34. Still lippy, but try to, get as far as I can before utilizing the mallet.
That's your gasket seal, huh?
Yep. Put quite a bit in this one.
You don't need a lot.
As long as it's tight. That's all I care about. Okay. There it goes. O-ring was resisting. All right, round two. Easier. Look. Yeah. Shims? Put on the top nut. Time to seal it up. Get an O-ring. God forbid you leave 2 rings on it. A very small grub screw. You certainly don't want to lose. That's Shiver number 2. Seal does need a little bit of a break-in. It's gonna take some time. I don't know. Spring to look together. Fork guards. This driver is so unwieldy. 12-inch. Full wrap or like 3/4 wrap guards. 270 degrees of protection. It's interesting, it stretches a little bit. Not bad. On one edge. Who knows when the last time this thing had fork guards or stanchion guards. I'll insert a picture of when I bought this. Inserts a picture of Diamondback. I mean half a bike. Diamondback.
Dry.
Dry. It's not. It's probably gonna build up a ring because the grease is gonna come out, but. One of these forks is not like the others. As in, if you ever see this bike on trail, you can take a look at some of the oddities. New series coming soon. I guess the chase threads are very nice. And then here's the matching brake clamp. It goes right here. Ready for the trails. And we can't beat this really. It's just a really nice looking fork. And I'm gonna put in a clip of me putting in the axle and all the bolts, the brake mount for the bike. But overall, that's a fully rebuilt Shiver. Yeah, you try to level up a little bit. The full wrap fork guard should be really good at protecting, keeping them really clean. We'll see about how well this works. And probably in a few months I'll put up an update after riding this for a little bit. Motocross technology at its finest. Sorry, it's like the other way. Yep. Arms are getting tired. Thanks for watching.
Run up again.
Hey there! Wondering how you can get these tools? Well, I'm going to show you how. Visit onedgecomponentsusa.com. Click on the website. Take a look at this awesome homepage picture. And go into Components. On the right hand side you'll see 3D printed. Hit Tools. And you'll unveil our full lineup of 3D printed brake tools and suspension tools. Right now most of these are just bleed blocks and sticky piston tools, but you can go and get things like this wedge tool as shown in the video right here. Look at our little description there. Even some of the photos. Or if you have a SHAM G2 or guide, you can look at one of these blocks to go along with the wedge tool. You know, this releases the pistons, the other one will reset them. They go hand in hand. It's a great combo. Or if you're unsure of what brake you have, you can always read this ever-growing chart of models that we have tools for. Add to cart. You go view cart. We will also have some promo codes. I'll stick them down in the description of this video. So go check it out. There's all sorts of great things on this website. We're also working on a lineup of articles and some other things that are somewhat cycling related, but if you're just looking for tools, here you go. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye bye.